this one is actually not a Section 8. I'll give you a rundown of what all's been done. It's all our shit. So all the walls and ceiling and shit have been painted. Just gotta do the trim. I've done all the trim in the whole house except for this room. And that's it. All the trim in here got done. And I wish I had taken a picture of the stove. It cleaned up real nice. But I mean, it was bad. There was like a layer of shit, and then a layer on top of it, and then mold on top of that. It cleaned up nice. This was a new stove. It was in great shape. It was worth putting the time in to clean. Same with the fridge. It wasn't infested with roaches or anything. This is rust. We're gonna sand that down and throw a coat of appliance paint on it. But it cleaned up real nice. Now, if it had been, either of these had been infested with roaches, my recommendation would be throw them away because you'll never get them out. You can clean the stove and fridge up as much as you want, but you will never get rid of those roaches. Door. I still got to do this one, and still got to do that. But all these have been cleaned. Unfortunately, we got the timing wrong, and I did my work before they fixed the ceiling. So, if I can find one, all right, here's one that actually has just shown back up. There was cracks through this whole ceiling. I mean, through the whole house. I've already done all the trim, everything in here. See, there's one. Yeah, it was bad. I'll try to take you downstairs and show you this situation with the foundation. That is the park at the bottom of Glenwood, Shoal Creek Park. We're on this side. That side's the baseball fields and shit. Some of y'all may know that road right there. It's Glenwood Road, not Avenue. All right, so the bathroom floor was busted right here. It's like a fat person jumped off of the tub, and I mean, the wood itself is fine. It wasn't rotten or anything, but it had to be redone. So now we can come in and build on top of that. The fridge or the tub's been cleaned, but again, that was before I had to come in here and do all the paint. Gonna knock the window out today, or the windowsill. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Not as bad as some of the tubs that have been on the channel, but it was pretty bad. It's a simple wipe down now. All this has been painted. This whole half of the house, everything's been painted. Ceiling. Still got to do this window sill. It's already taped off. All the trim's done. I've already done this one. Just got to scrape the edges. Same with this room, and again, you can still see some of it, but it was pretty bad. I'll run downstairs and show you just why. That's the vanity. It's going to get cleaned up. I do need to throw a coat of paint on it. It's not broken or fucked up or anything. This door is getting changed. In here, that's the toilet and sink. There was a gigantic hole. The dude who's fixing this, he's not done. He's gonna come back and do one more thing, and then this room ceiling will be painted. And then we'll just wipe down the walls and shit. The dungeon. I'll show you why we're having issues with the found. Yeah, there you go. Look at that shit. mean, this is like a hump for real. So we're not doing anything down here. We just had to throw away a bunch of stuff. That was all like here. Like a little workroom. Well, if we was in a legal state, bam, this would be a little grow room. Yeah, all this is like fucked. There's a big ass oak tree literally next to the house, and that's got to be its roots coming through. And that's what was causing the cracks on the ceiling upstairs. I mean, if you wanted to, you could finish all this and make rooms and shit down here. That window's got to get changed. Oh shit. That window's busted out. No wonder it's cold as shit down here. So yeah, and like I said, this is not a Section 8. I like this for some stupid reason. This is a privately owned house. The guy rents it on his own. He just got rid of a company he hired to do the work, and they were lollygagging, not getting shit done, and he basically told them, nah, that's alright, I got somebody else that'll do it. So I've been coming here every night. I keep finding this door unlocked. Somebody's coming in and unlocking that door. So yeah, just got to do the trimming here, the door, all the window sills got to get changed. I think the blinds are getting changed. Since it's not going Section 8, oh, and then this. So basically, from here over to here and over to there is all getting pulled up and replaced. And busted up shit. Well, the door got replaced. It was pretty bad, and the frame is still pretty bad. That's going to get addressed too. All this is done. Yeah, you can see there's one of the cracks. And it's that foundation. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it on this one. That door is going back on there. This door is getting replaced. Heat works. So that's Glenwood Road. If we keep going, the next light is Lion Street. So this is the park at the bottom of Glenwood. That's the basketball fields, the pavilion, the chill area, the playground. If you're familiar with Glenwood Road, then you know about Shoal Creek Park. So yep. Gotta paint this doorway, but something's gotta be done here first. And I'm not in charge of that. Mainly my thing was the kitchen, which I gotta redo. The stove, the fridge, all the trim, and I also did the cut work, so I didn't do such a good job there. It's all freehand. Did a better job there. I've done all the cut work. I'm doing all the trim, the fridge, all the bathroom when they get this piece done. We're probably gonna do this today or tonight. And I'll come back in and wipe everything down. Again, I've done all the painting here. Got rid of all the trash that was down there. Oh, and then we gotta do the yard work when we're done with all that. This is the tile that'll go in either tonight or tomorrow. Probably gonna be tomorrow, which is Saturday. So yep, hoping to have this one done by the beginning of next week and move on to the next one. We got another one that is Section 8 coming up. They got an extension, so they'll be able to stay there a little longer. I did not do the trim up top there. You can tell I do a little better job than that. So as soon as they leave, we'll be on to that one, and it's pretty bad. And then there's another one coming up that's not really bad, probably 3 days worth of work at the most. Let's see where that tree is. I want to go ahead and get started. Yep, there's the tree that's fucking up the... Gotta get all that trash and all that shit out of there. That's the tree that's fucking up the foundation. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and knock this shit out, at least today's work. Get back in here tomorrow. Take off Sunday, finish up Monday. So, yep, appreciate you watching. Probably didn't need to be 11 minutes long, but fuck it. Yep, get all the junk and shit out of the backyard, get it raked up and cut. There's the busted window. Oh, here we go. So, yep, appreciate it. Alright, we'll do a quick little update. This is probably my last day coming over here. Fridge has been sanded and painted. All the trim, well, there ain't no lights in here. All the trim and windows have been painted. I put the blinds back. It's not a Section 8, so it doesn't have to have like really nice blinds that work. All that's painted. Fuck it. Got to reinstall the dishwasher. Get some heat on. All right. That is tile, and it's grouted. And this was the floor that had a huge hole in it. Gotta get that re-wiped out, but whole bathroom's painted, all the vanities going back, it's gotta get a coat of paint. But all the holes in the wall have been fixed. That kind of looks new. Huh. All the trim's painted, same in the rooms. Gotta get the floors done today. I'm just gonna sweep them out, vacuum them, and mop them. Then I gotta trim the windows. Get the trim, you know, the paint off the panes. Same with this room. It's completed. Painted floor to ceiling. This room, the walls were, I should have took pictures, were a really dark purple, like purple plum color. So these walls really got painted twice. They got hit with kilts, and then they got hit with paint. The window frames and trim, for the most part, had to be painted twice because so many years had gone by in between painting them. This door was fixed and painted. That it was one coat of paint wouldn't clean it. And he's touched that up again. There was cracks through this whole house. Yeah, you can kind of see one was there. That's got to get painted. Shit. 2 more things than I thought. Kitchen floor. The kitchen floor was a pain in the ass. It had a valley going from here down and then from there down. So that's why all the center tile was busted up. When we pulled that tile up, there was a layer of linoleum underneath it, and then another layer of tile underneath that, and then another layer, I think of like an old linoleum. All that had to come up. And started with sheets of Durock and then built the tile on top of that. So the stove will go back, fridge will go back, dishwasher will get reinstalled. Gotta remember, can't use the sink. All the trim in here is painted. Do a little tidying up, and that's about it for in there. I'll clean that out. Yeah, here's the drawer. Gotta just reinstall it, clean it out. I think this is going to the trash if nobody wants it. Dining room's done. All painted. Oh, and the kitchen was dark, or the bathroom was dark blue, so it needed the same thing that the bedroom did, a layer of kilts and then paint. When we do the dishwasher, we'll bring this up some and correct that. That was there before, but we can go ahead and fix it without doing any work. And that's the last piece of trim that's got to be done, this window. And then get all our shit out of here and wipe everything back down. The counter's getting painted. And that's it. This one's done. On to the next one. So, I wish I had taken a better day one footage, but I didn't realize this one was going to be a big job, so I didn't film anything, so there's no way to really show you before and after. But this one needed a lot of work. Whole entire house painted, there was holes everywhere, ceilings fucked up. All that's been corrected. Surprisingly, the floors are fine. Once I'm sweep and mop them, they'll be all right. They're not peeling, they're not scarred up, they're not damaged. So I just gotta get like the few paint spills and whatnot, and that's it. All the closets are cleaned out, although I didn't do this one, or maybe I did. And then the downstairs, I already showed that, so yep. Get started here for a few hours and then we'll knock this shit out. There'll be another one done. On to the next one. Nice. Oh, we got the fan. Totally took it apart. You couldn't clean it. It literally had to soak the fan blades in Clorox and shit to get the layers off. It's never been cleaned since it was installed. Yeah, here they are. And they cleaned up real nice. Luckily that could be saved. So that saves the homeowner a few bucks. So, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Get this shit knocked out. Appreciate the view. Shit, posted in the back. But before I go, I did want to add this. Why it's raining. Check this shit out. That's his bird feed or bird seed holder. It's actually welded to it. I guess that's his dick. That's pretty fucking neat. Oh, that's a drill bit. Yep. Somebody made that. We're not removing that. Oh shit. It started raining again. Alright then. Clean with it. Alright, final day. Got all that painted. Just gotta get the floors mopped. Oh, excuse me. That cleaned out. Check the ceiling for... Yep. Ooh. Dang, I didn't paint that. And the kitchen tile is done, grouted. And like I said before, this floor was just fucked up. I mean, it was literally like a valley, like that. And that's what was causing all the center tiles to break over time. We could have just put new tiles in, but you know, maybe a year and a half, all the center ones would have been busted again. That's all been painted. These blinds I think are getting replaced. I don't even know if the dishwasher works. All this works, clean. Wish I'd taken photos of what it looked like before. Fridge has been taken care of, all cleaned. We just went ahead and cleaned this off and painted it. They actually make a counter paint, and since he didn't want to spend money on redoing the kitchen, it was just better to go that route. This bedroom is done. Just gotta mop the floor, I think. No, this floor is done. Ceilings fixed. These ceilings were just really bad. All this is done. Same thing in here that was done in the kitchen. It was busted there, like almost like an express to the bottom floor for the crawl space. Actually, no, that's another floor. All this had to come out. It's all fixed, all painted. This will probably get another one of these put in, but this isn't Section 8, so there's no like requirements for any of that. It's just whatever the homeowner wants to spend. Oh, this is cleaned out. That's gotta go somewhere. Yeah, this bathroom was dark blue. So same as the back bedroom that was painted purple or plum, whatever you want to call it. Had to be kilts and then painted, and then you have to kind of go back and make sure you got all the clouds. So if you put this coat on over the kilts and it was thin, you might not see it thin, but when you come back with a light, you'll see the cloud. And so all that had to be addressed. I hate when people paint walls dark colors. It's a pain in the ass to fix it. You're basically painting it twice. This is the room that had the really bad ceiling. That's good. We're gonna pull that down and paint it. The windows are painted. The blinds work, they're just dirty. So if he brings me a bunch of them, I'll change them out. It's no problem. This one did get changed out. It had chunks missing out of there. So the floors are painted. The floors are clean, but I'm gonna go ahead and remop them anyway. That's to the downstairs and up. Yep, it's unlocked. I don't know how this door keeps getting unlocked. Every day I have to lock it. This is the room that was dark, plum. All the ceiling, everything's been painted, sealing the floor. Floor's gonna get mopped again. And then I just kind of got to go around and look for any paint that might have dripped off. I personally probably didn't drop it because I'm just really, really careful with how I paint. But other people did the ceiling and shit and they just slop it on. So I've already actually done this floor and this floor. Like the hallway, you can see there's brown. I didn't put that on. There's the white that was from the ceiling. I did that. So just get all that up, get them painted. And here's done. All the trim and all the walls and all the ceiling and the whole house is painted. Every door, all of it painted. I'm gonna clean the grate out and then mop these floors. So it's pretty much done. All this is dry. Yep. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, this is not a Section 8, so there's not really requirements. It's just basically what the homeowner wants to spend. That's new. And with this area, and it's not being a really, really big house, the owner doesn't want to spend a whole lot. And I can understand that, just because your renter is more than likely going to do some damage. Even after just a year of being in there, this is all our stuff. This is like half of what's required to redo a house. This ain't even all the tools and shit you gotta have. Now if this were Section 8, every pair of blinds that even had like a nick missing out of it, you gotta change them. All the sockets work. We got every socket in the house working. This fan basically had to be rebuilt. It was so dirty and nasty. Never been cleaned. Don't know how many years it was in there, but it had grease, hair, and dirt. Just, it wasn't even coming off. I wonder where that goes. So all that's done. All the appliances cleaned, except for the dishwasher. When they're old like that, I don't typically mess with them unless, you know, the homeowner specifies it, just because you don't know if the damn thing even works. A lot of homeowners for rent, once it breaks, they don't worry about it. Wash your dishes by hand. One less expense, one less appliance to break. Let's get some heat going. I think this thermostat is fucked. And see, I'm not getting a click. But even when you turn it off, it comes back on. There we go. It comes back on its own. No issues with the power box. I hate this kind of shit. I prefer breakers. And we've already been downstairs, so you know what it looks like down there. Wasn't a whole lot we had to worry about down there. Just getting the trash out. So yeah, I mean, I wished I had gotten in here and gotten some day one photos or pictures, videos, something. Because this house has come a long way in 11 days. A long way. And we could have probably done it in 8. But with everybody having other projects and other things to do, it's sort of get over here when you got free time. So I'm over here every afternoon, pretty much till the evening, if not dinner time. I did all the trim. I did all the cut work by hand, didn't need to tape it or nothing. Oh shit, gotta paint that too. So, yeah. Yep, so not a hell of a lot, not too bad. All this is gonna get dealt with at a later date. The door works, so that's previous repairs we had nothing to do with. Then we'll probably come back and do the yard, you know, maybe a week or so from now. Get all that done. Probably do some painting on the outside, shit like that. But yeah. Done after the day, should get paid before Saturday. Nice. Appreciate the view. Shit. What time is it? 9 o'clock at night. Finally got up out of there. 9 o'clock. Time to call it a day. Appreciate it.